In this tutorial, I'll show you how to change the transparency of individual sections of a shapefile. Typically, before this, when you change the transparency, you're changing it for the entire shapefile. Now, if we go into our attribute table, we can create some columns in here that will help us with this. The first thing we want to do is create a biorank, and so that's just based on the biomass I have, what's the rank, and you guys will do this in based on your rubric. I based mine off of what the wood tons is. Next, we'll go and set the transparency to a given level based on what the rank is. So in order to do that, what you'll see is I have created these two fields. So you have to go in and you have to add field. I've added one for biorank and one for transparency. Both of these I set to integers because they should remain as just integers, no decimals there. Once that's done, you can go in here and use the field calculator. Now with the field calculator, you can either just put in here items, so I could say that if I wanted to calculate something, I could take another value in the attribute table and multiply it by 4 or something like that. However, we're going to use an if-then statement, and in order to do that, we need to use this code block. So make sure you're on VB script here, and we're going to use this code block, and I'll load what I've done here. This is what ours came out to be. So I dimensioned a variable called density in the script code. So we set this density then, and then we ask the question if our wood tons, which I brought in from right here. Again, I could double click that and you can see how wood tons would come in there. So if the wood tons is less than 5,000, then the density is equal to 1. If wood tons is less than 15,000, density is 2 on down the line there. You're going to get 3, 4. Notice that the last one is else. Density is equal to 5. Make sure that everything else in here, that you don't have any negative values. If there's no negative values, then this will make sure, actually this will ensure that anything over 45,000 is set to 5. You guys need to do this for your own set of information, and you will go ahead and end it with end if. Then what you do down here, since we've set density, we put biorank is equal to density. So I would hit OK here. That's going to calculate the records. That's what's given me this right here. Next, the transparency. If we go into transparency and do the field calculator again, this time I will put in my transparency. You can see the transparency values that I have here are all set. And I will put in transparency. And we should hit OK, and everything will go ahead and set the new transparency values. So now again, I have the bio rank here and then the transparency rank. So that is all set in the attribute table. Next, we're going to right click on test, go to properties, and go to my symbology. Now, the only place that you can actually change the transparency of individual parts of your shapefile is under categories here. So I'm going to bring in the categories, and so I'm going to bring in biorank as my category. So we'll apply that. Oops. Under here, I forgot to click apply to all. So under biorank, I need to add all values there. I'll add all the values, and you can see your files will look something like this. You probably will use a gradient for yours, but that's what those will look like. Next, what we need to do is under the advanced down here, we need to set transparency. And we're going to now use that field transparency to set the transparency of individual ones of those in the shapefile there. So we can visualize now what this is, and as well we're going to show what that transparency. So we'll go ahead and apply that and hit OK. Now that's setting each transparency layer to a given value. One way to test this, if I open up the attribute table, the symbology here, if I keep these all as green, let's just try these all with green here. Okay, we hit apply, and what you can see is the same color green, but the transparency level is set differently. So that's how to set the transparency levels for different parts of your shapefile.